The ABC has a bunny boiler. A group of bunny boilers, in fact. They are being stalked by a dogged cabal of bunny boilers bent on doing them harm. That is News Corporation, Rupert's army of bunny boilers. Now, anybody who's had a bunny boiler will tell you don't encourage them. But ABC has done just that. They've announced they will get Laura Tingle counselling for expressing an opinion. That is, that Australians are racist. That's what she said. Counselling. How nice of them. Now, the people from News have been lurking around the ABC's political correspondent Laura for quite some time. They are obsessed because not only is she a good journalist, not only does she work for the ABC, but she is also a woman. Simply the perfect target for the Murdoch bunny boiler army. The other irony this week was that the next night, Sky News featured what they called a documentary, which was based on no documents, only opinions, by Josh Frydenberg, the former treasurer. Josh's view was that racism had never been higher in this country. News was also featuring Julia Gillard on its front page as expressing this week the opinion that young people were stupid and that this was the fault of social media. Yes, young people, those young people who now face a bleak future thanks to the policies of old people, successive governments over the past 2 decades. Yet, according to Julia, they are dumbos. It was not mentioned, of course, that social media is eating Rupert's revenues, and young people have figured out that you can't trust old media spin. That's why they don't look at it. Now, sadly, Julia Gillard either. Meanwhile, in the world of dog whistling, the Libs have been taunting Immigration Minister Andrew Giles for a few days, every day this week, demanding he resigns because the AAT let a criminal asylum seeker through the net. Under pressure, said News. Under fire, said News. Under pressure, mimicked the ABC and the rest of them. Now that backfired just a tad when Albo got up and reminded the House in Parliament that when Peter Dutton was Home Affairs Minister, 1,300 hardcore criminals were released into the community, not because of a decision of the High Court, but on his watch, said Albo, including 102 sex offenders, 64 of whom were child sex offenders. And as it turned out, the immigration mandarin, the bureaucrat Stephanie Foster, had not informed Giles of the tribunal decision anyway, so Foster got a promotion following this to Home Affairs. Meanwhile, we've got a deep housing crisis, the greatest financial hardship for generations, a per capita recession. We're caught up on the wrong side of a genocide, and fossil fuel approvals are on the rise. But hey, Laura Tingle, Julia Gillard, and Andrew Giles is under fire for somebody else's decision that nobody told him about. So the scam of the week goes indubitably to Rupert's mob, the bunny boilers. Australia, you have been scammed. Oh, while we've got you, one just that came to mind also was that the overwhelming majority of parliamentarians this week, both sides of the House, Liberal and Labor, and all the Teal independents, voted against the motion that Palestine be recognised as a state. It was only Andrew Wilkie and the Greens that recognised the obvious, what Australian foreign policy was anyway, and it has been for many years supportive, that is, of the two-state solution. So how can they vote down a Palestinian state if they want a two-state solution? Have they got somebody else in mind? Anyway, these distractions at a time of such hardship for Australians. Australia, you have been scammed. We have been scammed. We deserve better.